everyone! Welcome back to New Acquisitions. I'm Captain Logan.
Hello.
Eric and I are going to show you some cool stuff that we picked up recently. And Eric, what do you have for us?
Got this stuff over here. A lot of stuff. So, this is mine now. It's going to be mine. I rented it from work and I've just kept it too long and now I'm just going to have to buy it. Somebody brought this in. It's a steelbook for Ghostbusters 2. That I just immediately was like, this looks amazing.
It's really cool looking.
It's really cool. It's also got some special features, which the DVD doesn't have. I found out the Blu-ray set has the same special features as this.
Okay.
So you can get the interview and stuff just by buying the Blu-ray set. It's not exclusive to the Steelbook.
But if you only had the DVDs in the first place, then
Yes.
buy one or the other.
Yes. I want the first one. They also put out the remake for some reason. They put it out with like a cool Steelbook.
Okay.
But this, like, it doesn't. These aren't even in the movie, I don't think. But like, they're real cool.
Yeah.
And they look like they could have
These
been.
monster things?
The one for the first movie is also really cool. I'm hoping I can find that at some point. I don't know if those were like exclusive.
Well, and the one on the front too.
Yeah. Somebody brought this in, but not the first one. I'm hoping somebody brings in the first one because that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So I got that.
That's really cool.
I picked up Stephen King's Danse Macabre. Macabre. I've never known how to pronounce that word correctly.
Those are both acceptable.
Okay. Which is Stephen King's history and essays on horror fiction in the 20th century. But also like not just written fiction, but also movies and things like that.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I assume he'll talk about EC Comics. I've always meant to read this because I really like On Writing.
EC Comics every chance he gets.
Yeah. And I tried to listen to the audiobook once, and On Writing is read by Stephen King.
Yes.
This is not, and I just can't deal with that because it's him.
I should actually listen to On Writing at some point. I've read it through twice, but it would be cool to listen to him.
Yeah. No, it's really good.
Read it.
And I also got Cycle the Werewolf, which is a much shorter book than I thought. I thought it was a full-blown novel. It's, at best, a novella. Anyone that doesn't know is every chapter is in a month, so it covers the whole year, and there's really cool, like, Bernie Wrightson artwork.
And Eric has actually talked about this on the Omnibus before.
Have I?
Yeah, you brought up the whole thing about in
it's-
some other context. I don't know what we're talking about.
It's probably GNN.
Yeah.
So I've always complained that Stephen King lacks brevity, and that he was supposed to do this calendar with Bernie Wrightson, where Bernie Wrightson would paint a picture for each month, and Stephen King would write like a 2 or 3 paragraph story that would go across the calendar, and that he couldn't do it. He couldn't be that brief, and so he turned into a novel. It's not a novel. Like, each month is, I think, max like 3 pages, but some of them are only like 1 page. This whole thing ends up being like 127 pages. I don't even know if that's counting the pictures.
So it's
like,
hardly even developed length. Is it one story? Is
Yeah,
it beginning, middle, and end? Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's as far as I understand, I'm going to read this soon because it's so short. I don't know if I'll get it knocked out for the next omnibus, but I'm going to read this soon. Some of the artwork's just
I'm excited to hear you talk about it.
great. But yeah, so I got that, and then
Man, I wish he'd write comics.
I don't know. I feel like he wrote something.
No, I wish he would like do a series.
Yeah,
it'd be really cool if he came back and did a series. I think he's done comics before, but I wish he would like write a comic book. Like,
yeah, it'd be cool if I would love it if he tried to do like an anthology horror, like an EC throwback kind of thing.
That'd be fantastic.
I also picked up Batman Second Chances, which is the trade I was complaining about last time. That
Can't believe you happen to find that after.
It has all of the.
Our discussion.
It's Batman. It has all the Batman issues post-crisis that the Batman trade was missing. So this has the Jason Todd steals the wheels off the Batmobile, which is right there on the cover.
But this is a thing they need to reprint because that's out of print.
It's out of print, and that other book lies. It says it's all the like starting right after Crisis. It's not. This is. Now I've also been told that like most of this is written by Max Allan Collins, and apparently they're not very good for various reasons. Like apparently there's a lot of like editorial like not lining up.
But that's neither here nor there because if you're trying to get a library.
Yep. So I found that for $20, which is great. Which is what? I mean that's cover price. So
yeah, which is real fair for an out of print thing like that.
Yep. And then the last
Halfway
thing
has a tendency to mark those up quite a bit.
Yeah. Maybe its value is less somewhere other than Amazon and eBay, but on Amazon and eBay I wasn't seeing it for less than like 50.
Yeah. Great.
But and the last thing I got is what Vince got me for Christmas, which is the Iron Man statue that complements the Mandarin statue.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he got you the Mandarin statue, right?
He got me the man statue for my birthday.
Yeah.
And then he got me this
That's awesome.
for Christmas. So now I've got them
Do
in
you
my
think
room.
he bought them together and he split them up?
I don't know. But yeah.
That was really awesome of him.
Yeah, that's super cool.
I still haven't done Christmas with Vince.
Yep.
It's like mid-February, and I still have not got together with Vince.
I also still have Vince's present. Remember that one
He's
time?
got a baby. I've got a baby. We're having a real hard time getting together.
The one time I thought we were going to go see Vince, but we went and saw Vice.
That was the best. So I sent Eric a message, and I'm like, "Hey, Eric, you want to go see Vice tomorrow?" He was like, and your response was curious, but now I understand it because you wrote "sure" like with a question mark, and I guess you were just kind of surprised that out of the blue I'd be like, "Let's go see Vince," and you're like, "Okay, is Vince cool with this?" But we didn't say anything else about it. He was like, "I guess that's what we're doing." And we went to buy some comics from a guy that I bought a big. He had a collection. I bought a bunch of comics from him, and so we thought we were gonna go see this guy buy comics and then go see Vince. But I said Vice, and he didn't realize I said Vice.
Yeah, because guy was like, "Well, we have to make the show time." I was like, "Oh, are we going to a movie with Vince?" He was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "You said we were going to see Vince today," and you're like, "No, we're going to see Vice." And I was like, "Oh, that's different."
Eric, I've been buying oodles of comics. Because I have, as I've been talking about some on the channel, flea market booths again, and I'm reselling, so I'll buy collections and lots and blind boxes online and sometimes locally too, and I'll keep what I want, I'll sell the rest, and I've been doing insane amounts of gap filling. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what I've been buying today, or just like representations, because I keep saying I'm going to make a video about some of the other stuff besides Batman that I've been gap filling, but I'm not going to show you all the individual issues, and down the road I might do a few more of just like really cool covers and stuff, but right now I'll just show you some of the representations. So Eric, I bought a bunch. This was stuff that I got out of a collection I got like 25 or 30 issues, almost consecutive, of Grell's Green Arrow.
That's great.
So I got a bunch of that, and I'm excited to finally get into that. I'm finally collecting Doom Patrol. At least the Morrison stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got a few issues now of the stuff right before him, and I can't decide if I'm going to keep that or sell it.
Something like that feels like the most daunting thing to follow. We're like, look, I know that they existed before this guy, but like he changed like the guy that follows Alan Moore and Swamp Thing must have had that too.
But reading the first arc on it, which I reviewed a couple of omnibuses ago, I did find myself kind of curious about what it was like before Morrison, and obviously those characters, like whatever the guy before him did with those characters, informed that, and so like it was a restart and it was a jumping on point. But I like to read at least the arc before it.
I've always wanted to see what the '60s comics looked like because they come out like a month away from X-Men.
Yeah.
Because they're very similar. Everyone's always been like, is one a ripoff? Like, there's no possible way. They're just very similar. But I've always been curious what the original Doom Patrol was like.
It would be interesting to know that, considering it can't be as weird as it is later. And then I got a crazy amount of Grant Morrison's JLA and just the series in general, because obviously he doesn't write all of this, and I don't know if he even starts it.
No, he does. He starts it.
But there's a lot of fill-in writers and stuff in this series. But I got like...
Well, Tower of Babel was in that series.
Yeah, and it's I couldn't remember what I couldn't remember is if it was the if it was the thing that opens JLA or if it's like the second or third arc.
It's not anywhere near that. It's after Morrison leaves.
Oh, is it? I thought it was real early.
No. Tower of Babel is like.
I must be thinking of a different arc.
I think they
restart.
I think
there's another arc with the Joker that's early that he writes. I think, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, but Tower of Babel is I think Mark Waid. But like I think.
That's right. That's why I'm confused because that's not even.
I think when they released the JLA trades, like they did the Morrison stuff, and I think they renumbered starting with Tower of Babel. So I think if you ever saw the trade, it might have said 1.
Oh.
I think.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
I know what Tower of Babel is, but momentarily I forgot that Morrison didn't write it. But yes, of course.
But there is a Joker story in that. Yeah.
But anyway, I got like 30-something through like 120 with very little gaps, so I have most of the series now. I got, in random boxes, I got some amazing that I happen to be missing. Here's the Big Wheel issue.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's cool, and there's a few more that I'm just not showing you right now. I finally got a Secret Invasion, mostly in issues. I'm missing the first issue. House of M I got, also in issues. Those are both things that I have. It's hard not to get glare.
I have that stuff when I'm sending pictures to you.
Yeah. Those are things that that I have in trade and I've read before, but didn't have the singles for, and I collect big events. And then, Eric, I finally read that. Because I never had before.
Is that the silent issue?
No. That's the...
Oh, sorry. That's One More Day.
That's One More Day. That's the end of
Did
One
you read
More
all
Day.
4 of it, or just...
No, I just read this.
Okay.
I just read the end of it.
It's not a poorly written story.
No, it's not. It's interesting.
As much as JMS wanted his name off of it, it's not a poorly written story.
Yeah, I mean, for lots of reasons, I don't like it, of course. But
Well,
it was
there
just
are
really
holes.
interesting to finally, yeah. And I mean, like, I know I didn't read the whole story arc, which is why I'm not reviewing it right now. But I had never, because like I know what happens in One More Day, but I'd never experienced it, so I thought I'd look at that because it's interesting.
So I saw Enough Said, and there's a silent issue that has that on it,
Oh, I see. Okay.
and I thought it might be that.
Oh, here's another amazing I was missing. This is not in the best shape, but this is 131 with the
Oh, that's the wedding of Doc Ock.
Ant-Man Doc Ock wedding. Yeah.
Do you know why Doc Ock was married to Aunt May?
I mean, I used to, but I
She
forget.
inherited a nuclear island.
Oh, I guess I didn't know that. Wow, that's hilarious.
Not even involving Spider-Man, just she inherited a nuclear island.
Gap filled a whole bunch of spectacular. I went into a vintage stock yesterday. They were having a big sale this weekend, and I bought $160 comics for 50 cents. And there was some stuff like this in the dollar comics where I was like, this one says $3.99, but I must have gotten this out of another box or something. But anyway, this was, but there was a bunch of spectacular from this period, like late 70s, early 80s in there, and a bunch of Superman from right around then. I'm gap filling my John Byrne Superman, and just this series in general. So yeah, all the crappy stuff too. But I bought some and gap filled some of that series, and even earlier Superman from the previous series. And some Avengers also. I said Adventures for anyone that thinks I said Avengers. And then I've started collecting this. This is the Secret Origin series. This is the Volume 3 stuff from the 80s. And
is that just post-crisis or just pre-crisis?
This would have to be all post-crisis.
Okay.
Because this is 89 and this is number 38. So,
cool.
Yeah, but this kind of just gives me some stuff from that period with characters that I don't usually read about and have represented anywhere. So it's kind of cool.
That series is the one that establishes that post-crisis Black Canary is the founding member, not Wonder Woman on Justice League.
Oh, interesting. 52, I now have half of or more.
Nice.
I found a bunch of this in some boxes I got. I've been actively gap-filling the crappy Electro Suit Superman, because I found a whole bunch of that at Vintage.
That just got bought.
And I keep running into it. Here's some cool... Oh, you know what? I think you mentioned that. Here are some cool Batman covers that I had never seen before. Look at this Two-Face cover.
Well, that's cool.
This detective cover. It's great. This is 87. And then there's another one. It's a really cool cover.
I think those might be in the one of those trades I got. Because that's Mike W. Bars, so I think that might...
Maybe so.
Might be in those trades I got.
And this is Briefogle.
Because some of the Batman books you initially showed me are definitely in that trade. The one with the guy with the knife is in that trade.
And look, it's Batman together again with Harvey Bullock.
Oh, that's cool. The shocker of
cover.
the year. We all remember that year.
I'm slowly finding some issues of Batman Adventures.
Oh, cool. Hey,
Getting some of that
got
knocked
the long
out.
hair.
Yeah, interesting. That's a strange
that's-
choice.
'cause that's obviously
this
gotta be
would
pre-animated series.
Pre-animated series, yeah. So you're seeing that Batman with them like approximating a Superman, but they haven't done him yet. That's really interesting. This is a somewhat famous cover that I was surprised was not in my collection.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
So
That's
I got
really cool.
that. That Kryptonite Batman Superman got an action figure.
I wonder if that's the inspiration for the Mac.
I'm not sure. I think exactly this thing was also in Superman Batman somewhere.
Okay.
Maybe that's why I got an action figure.
Okay.
I might be wrong, but Superman Batman did a whole line of figures, and it's been a while. I can't remember, but that was like a decade ago or more now. And then I bought a box of random comics, but not so random, at Vintage, and got some really good stuff. Actually, some good stuff to sell too. But I finally got the Arkham City prequel series from Paul Dini, which I have in hardcover, but this gives me most of Arkham in singles now.
And you
So,
gave
got
it
that
to me in
knocked
hardcover for
Before
Christmas one
I
year.
ever bought it, yeah. And then this also had some issues of Cassandra Cain Batgirl, and it had the miniseries that brought her back by Adam Beecham that I had no idea existed either. I finally got the rest of Justice in singles, which I had a couple issues of, and I have the first hardcover trade of that because Sarah liked the art so much she bought it on a whim when it came out.
She liked it so much she bought the company.
Yeah, and I also got Batgirl Year One, which I have never read, and we'll have to try to do.
You started it, remember? Because I have the trade. You started reading it one day.
Right. Yeah. Well, I need to get back to that. It's only been 2 years. I also bought the early. The only stuff I guess that she was really in, the Earth 2 Huntress stuff from just before Crisis. Like, they do this and then they get rid of it, because this would have been, like, maybe 5 or 6 years before that.
Okay, I always assumed she was like an early 70s creator.
That's what I thought, but I don't think so. I think it's later than that. But this was a Paul Levitz thing. I might be wrong about that, but I thought it was like...
How popular that is.
Yeah, it starts in 77.
That must have been pretty popular, because one, I didn't realize there was that much of it, and
yeah.
two, that they... Because I know the artist on that works on that first miniseries with Helena Bertinelli, and then everyone's like, he has to be involved with bringing her back.
I didn't know
this
that.
Guy's so important to this character, he has to be involved in bringing her back. That Joe Stanton.
Yeah, Joe Stanton.
That's interesting. I guess that makes sense that if they immediately brought her back, she must have been popular right before.
This is an idea I've always liked. Obviously, this was the inspiration for the Huntress in the Birds of Prey TV show, and at that time it was a real novelty to me because I didn't know this existed. So, I thought they made that whole thing up.
I did too.
That she was.
It's years before I find out it's based
this
on
Helena Wayne idea that she was Batman's daughter and Batman married Catwoman and all of that. And this has a way better reason for Batman to leave Gotham than that show did, which I wish they had used. I will talk about this when I read all of it. I went ahead and read her origin issue, and it's much better than I expected.
Yeah, you're talking about it. It sounds great.
It has a really cool backstory for both her and Batman, and again, why Batman leaves, and he does really the only thing I could see him doing where he would never come back to it again. I like her costume a lot. I like the art in this a lot, and this is always a character that I thought I would like a lot, but didn't know it was collected anywhere. And when I found out that this existed, I was like, I've got to get my hands on that.
DC's been doing a great job of collecting things.
Well, and this wasn't that recent either.
Oh no, I'm seeing that logo now. You're right. It's that.
This came out in 06.
It's the pre-flip logo. Cool.
Yeah.
Is it still in print, or did you find that somewhere?
No, I had to go get this on eBay, but
okay.
I think I paid $10 for it, maybe.
That's not bad.
The cover price was $20, so yeah. But yeah, I'll review this soon. I was very excited about this, and I would like to collect her. Eventually, I'd like to get these in singles too. But this was a way for me to hurry up and read it, because the thing that made me go look for this, or just go... I didn't even actually look for this. I went to see what her first appearance was, and I was going to buy it in singles, and then I found this, and I was like, I'm going to go and read this. But it was because she appears in Crisis, and we read that, and she seemed cool in Crisis.
You'll have to get that thing that you missed from the Tom King run that you didn't read, because they established that she's his daughter in that. That like side story where I was like, this made me cry, and you're like, what are you talking about?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh no, here, Helena is his daughter in that.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and she's Batgirl or Batwoman or whatever.
And see, it's weird now. Yeah, and it's odd that she's Huntress and not Bat something, because she still sort of has a Bat motif. Although they do that in the TV show too. But she has a Batman cape. And, but anyway, so
halfway between her mom and her dad.
Couple other things, real briefly.
Batcat.
Bat or Cat Bat. Really, either one, I guess, works as well as the other one. Eric, I started buying these cases to display comics with, and these are really cool. I didn't know that you could go buy these. And
are you going to sell that one? Or are you just displaying
No,
like that?
these are just to display in my, in my vault room. And I don't even know that I'm going to put New Mutants 98 on the wall. I just wanted to put something cool and valuable in this.
Very circular hands.
Just to show it. But it's this is not a CGC case or anything. This is just a case you can buy and put books on to put on the wall. But I just wanted to show people that these exist. And I bought this. And I don't know the brand because I already threw the packaging away. But I bought these at Elite Comics, and let's see, yeah. This is it's an Ultra Pro thing. So the same company that makes a lot of like card sleeves and bags and boards and stuff make these. But yeah, I don't know if I've ever put this on camera. This is my maybe I have. This is my first appearance of the Punisher. Amazing 129. It's not in the best of shape, but this was the first, pretty valuable comic I ever owned. First big key I ever had. Yeah, and the Jackal. Mm-hmm. But that's a pretty ungettable book now.
I bet. But is it harder to get now than it was in like 1995? When or I guess probably like 92, like at the height of Punisher?
It's gotten even more collectible.
Interesting. Well, I guess because we're further away from it.
Just because it's harder to get. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. And the New Mutants 98 is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just because Deadpool is so popular, but that is usually, like a $600 or $800 book now?
Well,
I forget. I'm not sure.
And it is ridiculous.
And mine is in great shape.
Because it's everywhere. It's not a hard to get book. It's literal. You're watching supply and demand with that book.
That's exactly what's going on with that. Because I found mine just in a box when I bought a collection in the mid-2000s when no one cared. That's why I have that.
And people put in listings now like you're not going to find New Mutants because people don't know.
Yep.
Because it's not actually hard to get, which is a weird thing, but
in the video game world, you have that with Earthbound too.
Is Earthbound not hard to get?
Huh.
Oh, I thought Earthbound was worth so much because it was small print run.
No, it's smaller than other first party Nintendo things, but there are a lot of them out there.
Interesting, I did not realize that.
Yeah. And then I didn't want to put it on camera because it's huge, but I'll do something with it eventually when I get better at playing it. But I bought an accordion. I'm learning to play accordion, and this is my learning to play accordion book. I just brought this down to show you that
I
bought a book to
like,
play accordion because I have an accordion. Nope, this is my learning to play accordion book.
Teach yourself to play accordion.
And this book has some mentions and pictures of like famous accordion players, including Weird Al. Weird Al's in this book. But anyway, so at some
point, I didn't know there were other famous accordion players.
Well, one of the most famous is, ironically, or I guess just weirdly, a guy named Frankie Yankovic, who is not in any way related to Weird Al Yankovic.
Interesting.
And is one of Weird Al's big influences. And he said in an interview that he has met him, but
that's cool.
God, I wish they played together. That would have been the coolest. But anyway, I also got the chief engineer Michelangelo of the Star Trek Ninja Turtles crossover figures from the 90s. This was a thing because Playmates had both licenses, and I had the Kirk, but I didn't have the Michelangelo, so I finally have that. So I just got 2 more of those I got to get at some point.
Does that make him Scotty? Chief engineer?
Yes, they made him Scotty. Which you can tell because he has a red shirt.
Yes.
But that makes as much sense as anything because Scotty is kind of jokey. I guess that's the reason they went with that. It's hard to perfectly match them up. But anyway, so there's that. I really, really highly recommend this, and I'd like to do a review on it at some point. I'm just going to mention it briefly here. But this is the Ninja Turtles Munchkin, and if you like Munchkin, or you just like not too horribly complicated card games, I really, really, again, recommend this one, because Munchkin's a really fun game, but I didn't expect anything from this. Like, I bought it just because I was curious, and I thought it was kind of strange that you would have Munchkin games that weren't parodies, because that's what Munchkin always was. We talked about this
with the Marvel one.
Yeah, and I just could not figure out what the point of that was. And then I played this, and it is funny in subtler ways, and it's really creative with items and characters and things. If you've never played Munchkin, but you really like Ninja Turtles, and especially if you really like IDW Turtles, this will feel like just a really good system for a Ninja Turtles card game. Like, you don't even have to have played Munchkin or care about that. And in some ways, it might be better if you haven't, although I love Munchkin and I like this a lot. I wish that some of the terminology was different. Like, breaking the door down is weird now. It's like, why don't you change...
Because you're not going through a dungeon.
Yeah, why don't you change some of the terms? Some of it's changed, but not enough of it is. And it does have some of its own mechanics, so it doesn't mix with other games.
So you're breaking through the skylight.
Like, you play as a particular character, as opposed to having, like, a guild or a class or something.
Okay.
And
how do you get that?
It's a random draw at the beginning.
Oh, cool.
So everybody plays as a character.
Cool.
So you can play up to 6 people, and it's the Turtles and Casey and April. And then there are certain abilities that you have as whatever character that you're playing as. But anyway, I'd like to talk about this more down the road. Also, like I said, it's really cool because it's specifically IDW Turtles, and whoever made this knows that series really, really well. So, like, if you don't know that series but you like Turtles, like, you won't be confused or nothing, but there's some really cool deep pull references about specifically the Tom Waltz stuff.
That's cool.
That thing I never thought I'd see. Like, it's really cool.
I wonder if that board game's kind of like that, too.
It makes me want to look at that.
I mean, it's expensive.
More than I did before. Yeah, but I see it on sale quite a bit. Even half of what it was is kind of expensive. I mean, that was like an $80 game in the first place. But anyway, so that I think is going to do it for new acquisitions. I've got some other like singles and stuff that I could go through, but we've got a lot more to do on the show tonight, so I think I will just go ahead and move on. So I'm just looking to see if there's anything else I really need to talk about. Nah, I think we're good. Oh, let me just mention real quick. I read the first issue of this. This is the Q conflict, the Star Trek IDW from the Tiptons, and it's really boring, and I didn't like it at all.
Well, it's the Tiptons.
I know,
Why are you
and
surprised?
I'm not surprised, but like.
But that 5-year mission isn't going to be written by the Tiptons. Or that year 5 or whatever, that's not written by the Tiptons. It's somebody else.
Yeah, and that's nice, but like they never do this kind of thing where they put people from all the crews together, and I bought that obligatorily. I didn't expect to like that. I mean, I haven't liked their Mirror Universe stuff either, but anyway, all right, that's going to be it for new acquisitions. We're going to move on now to Geese Not Nerds. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody, and if you're watching the playlist, keep it rolling. Otherwise, thanks for clicking on this video. I am Captain Logan.
I'm Eric.
And we will see you again very shortly.